Good morning, everybody. Happy last day. Yay. Hopefully you didn't get too wet last night. But hi, my name is Faith Perry. I want to thank you for coming to hear about Stratus today. I'm glad some people are still left. Thank you. I am the business lead for the Stratus PMO. Over the past year, we've implemented utility-based billing, consumption billing. We have that for Nipper now. We'll go through the slides in a few minutes, but just wanted to introduce myself and allow my partner to introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Mark Nobles. I'm the technical lead here with Faith. Slide says up there. One of the things before we get started on this, what I'd like to ask if anybody is here who is affiliated with or representing or a mission partner that might be interested in Stratus. CONUS, of course, please come talk to us, but also as well, we're looking to deploy a pilot, a Stratus CONUS pilot in Ford Island, Hawaii, which I was at the not the FCA, but the TechNet IndoPac back in November. We had a lot of interest there from various mission partners for an CONUS instance. So anyway, if that sounds like you, please come talk to us after the briefing, and we'd like to discuss your baseline requirements, and that'd be great. That's it.
Thank you, Mark. So now we're done the introduction. I'm going to go through and do a Stratus overview brief. We were not able to do the demonstration over here, but if you see us after, on the other side of that blue drapery there, we can log in and give you a demonstration because it does require CAC authentication. Yes, it's a good thing. So Stratus is a private cloud, so that means it's on-premise, right? It's hosted in Oklahoma City and Montgomery data centers. So you sit behind the guns, guards, and gates of the on-prem facilities. It has enhanced cloud capabilities. We leverage the VMware capability, leverage orchestration to automate the deployment and provisioning of your virtual environments. Stratus itself has an RMF ATO accreditation. So we're not doing the FedRAMP PA. We already have our ATO, so that means you're going to be able to inherit those controls when you're trying to do your RMF accreditation. So we do have currently IL2 through 6. So depending upon what you're trying to host, build, support, you can put it up high, low, and if you need to do a cross-domain solution, we can work with you and our other DISA PMOs to help you implement that. It does, as we said, it does require the secure DoD authentication to get to the environment. And we have web-based self-service portals, so you can change your configurations as you need them, turn things up, turn things down, and it automates the funding workflow. So there's no service request forms. You just give us your funding, whether that's a 7600 agreement or a MIPA. And we do support many different colors of money, just depending upon what your application can be supported. So it supports initial development. So if you're doing R&D, you can do that. But we also have all the way up to fully redundant production environments. We do have disaster recovery and capabilities. So our DR right now is if a site goes down, the entire site goes down, it's going to fail over to the other data center within 2 hours. But if you need something more than that, above the OS level, then you're going to have to implement that yourself. So building an environment on both sides, implementing the failover capability, and so forth to meet your requirements. So this is our maximum supported VM. So you can be as small as 1 CPU or go up to 16 virtual CPUs for a VM. You have a 256 gigabyte memory limitation, and for storage, you can do up to 2 terabytes per vDisk. And you can have a max of 60 vDisks up to 120 terabytes. of storage. It supports all x86 environments. We do have a public catalog that you can download the images for both Microsoft and Red Hat, but you can bring your own if you need to. And again, it's built on VMware, so you have access to that virtual cloud director right away. As soon as it's funded, you can just go on the page and say, I request access, and then you'll have access to the VDC. And again, your network configuration also is done in the cloud director. When DISA stood up Stratus last year, it was worked very hard to make sure that our pricing would be competitive with industry, with commercial providers. So that's a very low rate for CPU. As we said, we've implemented metered billing, the utility-based billing for NIPR. At this point, we do target SIPR being metered billing in FY24. If we can back that up, we will. And your CPU and memory are based on your hourly usage. All the storage types are based on your highest storage usage for that day. And we do have different levels of storage. Both your primary or tier 2 archive come with the backup storage automatically, so that means that we're doing it replication every day on the VM basis. And then there are the links to our portals, so you can do quick estimates, if-then scenarios for scaling possibilities to see what that pricing will be. So here we talk about those 3 types of storage. So tier 1 is SSD, flash, very fast, high performance, and both our tier 1 and our tier 2 are FIPS 142 compliant. The tier 2 storage, that's archive storage. So if you have to have backups, it's not changing a lot. You can save a lot of money by putting it in tier 2. You can have both tier 1 and tier 2 attached to your VM, or you can just have a storage pool where you're backing things up. We also offer object storage. So that's a S3 storage. You can access that with a URL, use REST API to get to that. You can have that attached to your VDC or access from the VDC, but you do not have to have a VDC. You can just have object storage all by itself if you need that. Some of our DODIG is a big customer, big consumer of that, so they do a lot of their archive stuff there and make it accessible for other applications. It uses the Cloudian Hyperstore, and it includes the dual site replication in that rate. So if we go back up, that's why the object storage rate, initially, when we did that, we thought you were going to have to pay for the dual site replication. So we knew it was priced high, but we were able to work it down, automate some things, and able to offer the dual site replication on the net cost model. Do you have anything you want to ask? Okay. So on this slide, we talk about some of the other services that we offer. So we have our cloud engineers that you can leverage. You can buy blocks of hours, use them any way you want, whether it's dedicated technical support, whether it's coming to your meetings, advising, architecting, helping you do your accreditation packages. And that's very fluid. So you just use up to that number of hours and you can get another package if you need. We also offer logging services. So for your edge gateway routers, for your VDCs, you can enable Splunk logging. Do you need that? In this slide, we talk about cloud models, in terms of who's responsible for what. And it doesn't matter whether you're using private or public. You're going to be responsible for everything you see in there. Your cloud service provider, in this case DISA with Stratus, we're going to secure the networking, the storage, the servers, the virtualization. You don't have to worry about that. You just order the consumption you need. So you create your own virtual data center, and in there, you're responsible for doing all the virtual networking, for patching, stigging the OS. You're responsible for administering your middleware, your runtime, your data, and your applications. That's all on you. And so in order to open up ports on NIPR or SIPR, you're going to have to do that accreditation to meet the cloud security guidance from DoD CII. So, that's the long pole in the tent for most people to become active, is getting that accreditation, have those ports open. So get your security people involved early and often to help you get there. Now, DISA does offer services to take over that responsibility in yellow, and we'll talk about that. That's the plus services. But you can bring your own application, software, and data. We have secure file gateway process, so if you need to get things there, you can do that. But the Cloud Plus services, they help you with just the basic plus services. They're going to manage your provisioning portal, make sure that you're provisioned the way you want, what you need. They do the virtual networking. They do VMS, the Vulnerability Management Services, which is ESS, HBSS, and ACAS. Okay? That comes part of that. So you're going to get inherited controls because they're owning that process, along with patching, stigging, managing your OS. You also can get additional admin services to manage your database, your application. Now, database security at a minimum, if you have a database server, you're going to have security, because they're going to have to lock that down from a cyber perspective. But you can also get the database administrator so they can do logging, all of the management if you need that. So if you don't have that skill set, or you don't have a contract vehicle, it might be a good option to have DISA do that management for you. So the add-on also has the 24/7 system, application, database, so you can get any one of those and not necessarily all of them. If our normal operational window of 2 hours, turnaround and resolve, is not good enough. So if you have high availability systems and you need that level of control, you can choose those options as well. We also have other cloud offerings, and it doesn't have to be Stratus, these are completely independent. So if you're hosted in a commercial environment, you can leverage DISA's CSSP, the Cybersecurity Cloud Advanced, and VMS. Again, VMS is part of your basic services for Plus. It's only available on NIPR. If you want to do it on SIPR, you'd have to set up your Nexus scanners inside your VDC. This is the suite of services that come with the Cloud Advanced package. So it's available for IL4 through 6. So you can get it in Stratus or any other commercial provider as well. So they offer support, training, incident reporting. They do the sustainment and configuration management. They have incident response, malware notifications, warning, all the security and sensing that you might need to help you meet that cloud security guidance. If your environment needs it, you can additionally get the external vulnerability scans and the web vulnerability scans. So that, again, that's something that you may need to actually turn on just so you can get your IATT. So we can even though you may not be onboarded to services yet, we can do some of that for you to help you. Yes, it's a suite of services, but you can be selective. It probably won't affect the cost much. So, okay. That's right. Okay. So, how do you request help once you're in there? We just has recently stood up the customer success team, so they're really trying to be that single point of contact for any questions, whether it's, oh, you've got new services, we'll send you an NPO. Oh, I need help, go to the global service desk, create a ticket. So we put up that one, that's 8 8 to 4:30, so during the day, but our global service desk is 24 hours, so you can take advantage of that, get a ticket in, and we'll start working. Bless you. Earlier I said you can get that immediate elevated access to your VCD. So on our ordering portal, just at the bottom of the page, you just click the button that I need access. So if it's a new member of your team joins and needs access, just have them go to the portal, log in, and then click that button at the bottom of the page. And whoever is listed as your VDC administrator when you set up your account, they'll be the ones to say he has access or no, deny, reject. And you can have multiple types of groups, so you can have an auditor access. So for instance, if you're a plus mission partner where they're managing the environment, you're going to have limited root level access. So when you get access to the cloud director, you're probably going to get an auditor or reader. And this is our last slide. So these are links to the emails for the teams that will support you, for our portals. Do highly want to recommend that you go to the Stratus portal when you get a chance. Look at the bottom of the page under the doc repo, and we'll actually put this presentation up there. But you can download fact sheets on anything that you might be concerned with, whether that's firewalls, proxies, secure file gateway, how to do your networking, and that's a good cue to turn over to you to talk about portal. So there's fact sheets about how you get access.
Yes, so a couple of things. So for starters, before I forget, if anybody's interested in this briefing, in addition to another briefing that we provide every Tuesday, which is it's a weekly occurring briefing that we do at 1300 on Tuesdays, see us or drop us your business, Eastern, 1300 Eastern, sorry. Drop us, leave us your business card, and we can get you signed up for that. There's new topics, every week. Also, along with JWCC is discussed on the call as well. So anything that's going on that's new in Stratus is on that call, and JWCC as well. So for those of you who may have heard of JWCC before, this has come up several times. JWCC should not really be confused with Stratus. They're part and parcel of two separate entities, if you will. JWCC is basically a vehicle that allows you to procure commercial cloud, AWS, and Azure and whatnot. Stratus, as Faith has already alluded, is a go-go, government-owned, government-operated private cloud. The idea behind the long-range plan really for DISA, or for the hack, is to offer hybrid cloud, right? So they'll give you the ability to go either route. You want some workload over here with us in Stratus, you want some workload over in commercial, we can do that too. So that's one of the things that's on our roadmap. Going back to the Cora piece, that's the certificate of risk acceptance. If anybody's interested, after the briefing here, as Faith alluded to earlier, she'll bring up the business portal, and that's where you would go and basically supply all of your IATT or your ATO information to fulfill the core requirement, which is what is needed in order to open up the firewall. Any ports or protocols, the core is required. So you have to have all that information in there, as Faith alluded as well, that's typically the long pole in the tent. So that's one of the things that you would want to get done ASAP. And this is even for common ports, 80 and 443, for example. You don't just come into the environment and you have free access to the internet, right? So you gotta check that box, the Quora box. The other thing that I wanted to add was as well, through the portal that Faith was talking about, you can get estimates on anything. So this is your VM resources, CPU, RAM, storage. Get estimates for your scanning services, CSSP, Cloud Plus. Go and build an estimate, and that gives you a apples to apples comparison for any other providers that you're looking to potentially procure. So it's very clean, very neat little feature that we have. And let's see, this is just a very, very minor note. because we get asked about it. But you can also BYO your CSSP. So if you have an existing CSSP that you're doing business with, then you can leverage that as well in Stratus. You're not beholden to DISA's CSSP. There's also one other thing too that doesn't get a lot of airtime. It's okay. So yeah, if you visit the page, one of the pages that are listed up there, one of the services that some of our mission partners are interested in is basically bare metal. It's dedicated hosts. So we have a couple mission partners that use a lot of dedicated host resources. So
yeah, if your requirements exceed what we showed as our max earlier, then you can do that bare metal solution, and it is integrated, so it's like it's seamless part of the EDC, but it's bare metal. So we have both dedicated storage and dedicated hardware
hosts.
servers.
Yeah. So
Yes, right.
So so that's it. That's all I've got.
Thanks, Mark. So now we're going to do some questions. If anybody has any, I know it's such a big crowd. Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah.
this DoD, might be some questions you might know. Is DoD changing over to FSMA, FedRAMP? No, stick with the way they do it. Yeah, but I mean,
Changing over to FedRAMP. No, basically FedRAMP is more or less based on RMF, right? So, and one of the reasons that Stratus does not have FedRAMP is because it's on the domain. So,
I'm not just talking about Stratus.
Oh, okay.
General.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay.
Is that like change?
Oh, is FedRAMP changing? Oh, I apologize. I am so sorry because we get that one a lot too. So, no, I don't.
The DoD CIO Cloud group, they're always trying to come up with fresh new things to do things faster and better. But I don't really know.
It'll be a Supreme Court.
Right. Yep. Yes, it will. GSA.
Thank you very
All right. Thank you. Any other questions? Good. Okay. Well, we'll be here, and we'll be over there afterwards. But we'll stick around if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to show you that demo at our table. Well, the hack.mil. I thought I had that one. Containers as a service, infrastructure as code, all of those things. We do rotate the topics. So throughout the month, every Tuesday, we change who's the focus for that month. All right, thanks.